Hi guys, because Christmas are coming, in today's vlog I have decided that I will talk about books. This is my top 10 books I have read during 2017 season, plus I will tell a little bit about my new project and one book I have bought and I ain't gonna read, and I will leave it somewhere here in the city, hidden so nobody can really find it. It's a short video, so hopefully not boring. Now sit back, relax, and remember, always have fun. Alright, so I'll start with two books that are a little bit, drug oriented. Probably I will start with Nick Bilton, American KingPin. I have this idea, read about this book from Casey Neistat and his vlog. He was talking about this book. It's about a guy that created a website called Silk Road. I don't know if you heard about it. It's actually a website, or used to be a website, where you can buy drugs, weapons, part of the human body, but I don't want to spoil the book. So actually it's a real true story about a dude, normal guy, that has his vision, and he thought it's gonna be good if anybody can buy drugs without any danger on the street. Okay, the second book, it's about Rick Ross, done by Rick Ross and with Katie Scott. Now it's about the guy, not about the rapper, that was selling drugs in Los Angeles and in surrounding areas. It's starting a little bit slow. It's a true story. I don't want to spoil it, but he was able to talk about the book. So if you don't know the story behind, if you don't know if he's out or whatever, just you will find out in the book how much he was selling, how he has created the organization. And yeah, I like the negative personalities in the books. Mostly I'm on their side. No, I'm not reading about books because I like to smoke crack or whatever. I used to be a basketball player, so those days are over. I really think two books that are my top two books of 2017. My recommendation. By Timur Vermes. It's the author. Guess who's back again? It's about, I don't want to say his name. His name can be Adolf somebody. I don't want to say his name because of the YouTube policy. But basically, don't worry, it's not his biography or whatever. Actually, this book is a good satire. It's about making fun, medias and everything. Actually, I know it can be a little bit of the fun of how unimportant videos like this are, or how unimportant shows in the world are. And it's also a lot of fun about people with these kind of skills, like they have problems with their hand, and you know how stupid they are and everything. Really good book. It's a different one. 2 years ago I was not really reading. 2 years ago I didn't have a YouTube channel. 2 years ago I didn't have my Instagram. Actually, you can follow me on Instagram as a MartinTheVlogger. But 2 years ago I was not really reading, and this book given to me by my friends, it calls Siberian Education by Nicolai Lilin. It's a trilogy, so 3 books. And first talks about a young guy that lives in Siberia, a little bit like around, I don't know, like around 70s, 80s. It's like you go with this guy, like how he's growing up, how he deals with the problems. He's kind of problematic kid. A second book from the trilogy, it's about him going to the war. He's a sniper, and he's going to the Chechen war. That was, I think, even better than the first one. And third is he's coming back and he's trying to get to the normal life. If you are in America and you're reading and you're watching this in America, maybe this can be something different. With this book, I will finish my first top 5. Sorry, I don't have a cover, but because Richko ate it. But it's from Tyler Hamilton and Daniel Coyle as a secret race, or hopefully it's translated like this. Again, I have it in Slovak. Long story short, it's Tyler Hamilton tells his story about probably our hero, probably your hero as well, Lance Armstrong. Yeah, you know, for me it was nice to read maybe a different story, you know, like different point of view about the whole situation around Lance. What about this? These are the books I haven't read, so I will just say it really shortly. They are my new projects. So first one, it's Not Forgotten by Kenneth Bae. It's a book about him being in prison in North Korea. Yeah, I like to read about prison. I like to read about how tough it is for someone to get over. In case you know books like this, like people did survive prison, just write it into a comment. It would be awesome to know, to find more books like this. Rather to read about it than to really experience it, right? Alex Ferguson, I think he put word manager in football into a different level. I'm not really a soccer guy, I'm more like American football guy, but how he did things, how differently he was thinking. Manchester United and Alex Ferguson, his autobiography. It's in Slovak, but I think the translation is Evil's Daily Notes, about Alfred Rosenberg. It's a book about a lost diary of one of the worst people in the world during the First and Second World War, how he was able to manipulate people, how he was able even to brainwash Adolf. And I don't like the part of the history, but I would like to educate myself a little bit more what has happened. Jason Button. And in my second part, you will see two books that I have read about Formula One. I'm a Formula One freak. So Jason is really a playboy and a polite guy. And this is his new book, and I have to have it. Joseph Cambell, probably I should read this book already. It's A Hero with 1,000 Faces. I have read somewhere that this is a really good book about telling stories. It should give you tips how to tell stories, and if you are watching, probably I will need a lot of tips. So I should be reading it, but it's quite a difficult book. So always I kind of keep it on the side a little bit. All right, I promise you, I'll leave one book somewhere in Warsaw. I don't want anybody to find it. I bought this book like 2 years ago. It's by Donald Trump, Never Give Up. He is such a dickhead. I mean, not worth even to open it. Last top 5 books. Then I'm not really reading, but from time to time I'm just opening it and, you know, going through amazing pictures and see the different faces and their stories behind. It's Humans of New York. Whoever loves New York needs to have this book. It's so beautifully illustrated, and I can just show you a few pictures because I don't want to broke any copyright. And it's just about people from New York, and I think this kind of stories can happen only in New York. Love New York. Whoever does it as well, you just need to have this book. Phil Jackson and 11 Rings, very good book, sad story that I have it in Slovak because the translation is really, really bad. I used to play basketball. I love NBA. I love Phil, Kobe, Michael, and Shaq. Do I have to add anything? If you like basketball, if you know anybody in the family that loves basketball, this book is definitely a good present. Total Competition by Ross Brawn. Again, Formula One book. I don't want to bother you way too long. If you like Formula One, Ross Brawn is now one of the managers of the Liberty Media that bought actually rights to the Formula One. Is that he talks a lot about strategy and Japanese management. Yeah, it's too much theoretical, maybe, from time to time, but in general, it's a good book. Again, for those that love Formula One. Mark Webber, for all Aussies and for everybody that loves Formula One. Again, last book from the Formula One. It's autobiography about Mark, his fights with Vettel, his fights, how he get to the Formula One. And before I read this, Mark was not really my favorite driver, but still he is not. But I appreciate what he done, what he did, and how hard it was to get through many different things. Last not least, top books I have read during the 2017. It's 2 Years with Mongols. It's a true story by William Queen about a guy that has infiltrated into Mongols, who are basically a bikers club, you know, same as the Hells Angels. So again, these kind of stories do interest me. If you know more stories like this, just let me know. I have read this prior to the trip I went to Portorož to meet Harley people, just, you know, like to know what I can expect. It was nothing like that, but it's a really good book. It tells you the whole story, like how a secret agent was able to penetrate into the Mongols, and he caused a little bit of damage there. and he was thinking to join, whatever. I don't want to spoil. Guys, hopefully you like my tips. In case you do have some good books based on what you have seen, this is my thing, that this is what I do read. Just let me know in the comments. I appreciate every kind of an idea. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that I'm MartinTheVlogger, and on Instagram you can find me there with the top news, and join the community of 17-something thousand people that are following me. So, and as I say, guys, always have fun.